they found the pictures of like the incident. But then after they took his phone, then they got a warrant.
Then they got a warrant.
Which was a problem because you need to get a warrant. It's more like.
Well, did they? I mean, was it clear?
Well, it's not in the Constitution. There's no like law for it, so it's like kind of with the states, it's kind of like tricky, and that's why.
This was the first time that a case went to the North Carolina courts that dealt with whether or not you needed a warrant in order to go through somebody's cell phone. So the police showed up, they respond to the call, they go through the phone, they get the pictures, and then they get a warrant in order to get the pictures that he had sent out. What was he charged with? 5, 4,
second degree,
3,
sexual
2.
offense, and then a photographic image.
Yeah, that's pretty close. Second degree sexual offense and secret peeping photographic imaging. What happened when it went? Well, what was his argument? 5,
his argument was
4.
That they didn't get a warrant, and that they didn't have a right to check his phone without a warrant, and then
his rights were the ones that were violated in this. What did the court say? 5.
The court sided with him
4.
because they didn't have a warrant.
Yeah, they did, and that meant what? 3.
What?
2.
Meant what?
Meant what? 1. Go.
It was all fruit of a poison tree.
Yeah, it actually was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Meaning the evidence that they lost because they didn't get a warrant was one thing, but you're talking about the evidence that they got the warrant for. What happened?
So the first evidence they got, they didn't have a warrant, and they shouldn't have been able to get that. So then they got the warrant from Sprint to have what he sent out, but they wouldn't have been able to find that without the first.
Yeah, you're right. Had they not gone through the phone illegally, they never would have got the warrant to get the other stuff, which meant all of the evidence was lost, which meant what ultimately happened to Chris Snow? He did end up walking. And Molly said this, and I think I gave her points for it at the time. When the police got there, he wasn't taking pictures, he was loading her into a car, which is tricky because you could argue he's just trying to take her to safety because she's unconscious. Or some people said, you know, he's doing something far more sinister or getting ready to. And it's really hard because when you go to court, firsthand I see whose rights are kind of more important. Go ahead.
Defendant.
Yeah, the accused. They would much rather have guilty people go free than ultimately to have innocent people locked up. You gave me the last correct answer, and this is about the last question. Pick me a category.
Courts for 3.
Courts for 3.
Hit the jugular.
Rule of 4, firsthand I see. Go ahead, Julie.
4 of the justices have to agree to hear a case.
Yeah, that's right. 4 of the justices have to agree in order for the court to hear a case. Click it. Yeah, 4 justices must agree to hear a case before it's argued before the Supreme Court. Touch the House. Pick me another one. I think we got time.
The courts for 2.
The courts for 2. Solicitor General first. It is Molly. Yeah, and then it's Julie. Go ahead.
Informally, the 10th Justice on the Supreme Court.
Yeah, that's right.
The attorney argues on behalf of the Supreme Court. The solicitor gets 20 minutes, so then it takes away from the defendant and the respondent. But if the Solicitor General's on your side, then your side ultimately gets 40 minutes. The president's their boss, so if they want to push hard, but then they don't want to push too much because then the Supreme Court justices won't pay.
Damn. Okay, I don't know if there's anything more I can add to that. The 10th Justice of the Court, this is the representative of the government, representative of the president, who argues before the Supreme Court. But notice up there, because of influence. And this is one of those things where if you want to push for what the president says, but if you push too hard, you lose the influence. So if you don't push hard enough, the president's going to fire you. If you push too hard, the Supreme Court's not going to listen as much, and you're still going to end up getting fired. Let's see. 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 133, 76, 27, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 82 for Juan's group. Let's go with plus.
What?
I just want to go and say that there was a couple missed calls with this group.
Yeah.
There were 2 missed calls with this
You're
group.
all the way over there. You can't see us raising our hands.
Yeah.
He was
There
in the
was a
way.
couple times he didn't call.
There was 2 times where he actually raised his hand first.
What do you want me to do?
Thank you.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Thank you.
I just thought I had to
Justice.
go on.
Don't give it
Hey,
the point.
justice.
You're gonna win.
Let's go. You can turn it off. Yeah, I don't want this on tape.